Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com, where I dive deeper into all these topics and subjects, looking for potential investment opportunities, sharing those with everyone in the community, and going over the individual technical charts of those companies as well. I just released a midweek update today, so it is something you can check out. And I do highlight my favorite companies across a bunch of different sectors: shipping, fertilizers, oil and gas, energy service, gold and silver, coal, uranium, a bunch. Mainly in the commodity space is where I'm at, a little bit in emerging markets. But that's all I've got for that. We have a special coupon code that is going on. Special is the coupon code if you'd like to join and save some money joining and trying it out. All right, let's dive in, take a look, see what's going on here. We got the DXY, and again, we have weakness. We've got strength today, but it's still heading lower. The momentum is still heading lower, and we'll see what kind of bounce, if we do get one, what that looks like. Yields are generally a driver of it, but there is something really weird going on here, and I think it's worth talking about. As the dollars come down, we've seen days where yields are going up. Particularly, we pretty much had a flat DXY today. Yields were going higher. Something's going on here, and we've seen yields drop and the dollar drop with it. Which, if a recession was coming, what generally happens is people seek safety. They sell things, dollar goes up, DXY goes up, it gets stronger, and then they deploy maybe money into the bond market. But there's been times where we're seeing the dollar drop no matter what, whether yields go up or down. And that is a little bit concerning, as maybe nobody wants the dollar anymore. The 2-year yield up 1%. It's trying to get a bottom here. We'll see if there's follow through. The 10 years up 0.8%. We're coming back at that resistance line, and let's see if we can pierce through it or not. And then the 30-year yield is up 0.85%, and that's still sitting on top of support. Still looks good to go higher. So when looking at the yields, I mean, just a general comment here, they don't look that weak, at least on the long end of the curve. The shorter end looks a little weaker, but it's still pretty resilient. It's not just dropping like a rock. TYX TNX ratio holding flat. We are down 0.05%, and we're at a very inverted curve for this particular ratio, which is good for gold. It's a tailwind for gold when this goes low to high. TLT bond prices are down 0.6%. We've got a lot of overhead resistance above us. The 2 and the 10 inverting a little bit today. Now, by no means is this a new trend, but we did invert a little bit. We've got gold up $20 an ounce. It's solid day. Like to see this try to break out to new all-time highs and close above it. That is roughly 29.60 or so. We've got silver up 1.58%. It looks pretty good. Hopefully we can keep going to the upside and start breaking through a lot of things. At some point, this could accelerate dramatically for silver. I mean dramatically. And if you look at previous market movements, I'll just grab this real quick and show you what I mean by this. So here's a fractal movement. And that's the fractal movement that we've got here. And that's where silver, I think, could do something like that. It's just stretched. This is stretched out in this area here. And then that aligned, we could hit easily 50, 60, who knows, somewhere up there. It could easily surge higher here at any second. We've got platinum up 1.74%. We are still trying to break out of that resistance area line, and I can't remember what I drew that on. But yeah, this is going to break out, and it's going to have a big run, probably with oil. Palladium up $4.50 an ounce, and it is still chopping sideways, almost like this is a controlled little movement there. But that looks good to go higher. GDX up a little bit, GDXJ up more, and SILJ up even more. This looks pretty good. Looks like we're breaking through some resistance there, and that we're going to head higher. And I'm sure if silver starts to run, that SILJ and GDXJ, if gold starts running higher, that this will break out and have a huge run. XAU to gold ratio, the gold and silver mining companies divided by gold, still at incredibly low levels with incredible runway for valuation appreciation against gold. Crude oil up 2.17%. We're at support. We're getting some support. I'd like to see it continue higher. We've got seasonality coming in favor for us. So I would expect this to go up during that seasonality. Other people are calling for a very large breakdown, down to like $40 an ounce, or I mean a barrel. I don't know if I'm in that camp. I don't know. There's the shale oversupply war. This is the great financial crisis, and this is C19. So I guess what they're calling for is another event. And if the event comes, then I guess. But then you know that this is just all managed. That's all it is. It's all managed. If that comes. If that comes and there's some event and we get down to $50 and they start refilling the strategic petroleum reserve, it's all just managed. TTF gas down a little bit today. We're underneath resistance. We could very well roll over here at any second. We're coming into spring, which is between seasonality for nat gas. Nat gas in America off 8.5%, pulling on back. This is pretty normal when you get into the springtime. You're between heating season and cooling season coming up. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, we're up 1% today, and we're right underneath this resistance line. There we are. We're just underneath it. There's still some downside momentum. We haven't broken that downside momentum yet. I'd like to see it punch back through that resistance support line. There's that resistance support line going across there. And then I've got the fractal. You can see we dipped before, and maybe this is all we can dip here. I don't know. We'll see what occurs here in the short term. OIH up 0.4%. We are still underneath that resistance line or channel. But this is a bullish formation as it's a falling wedge where we could jolt higher from here. Newcastle coal futures down 3%. I saw a lot of the coal companies were getting sold off today. And it's probably going to start its basing pattern down here. We've got Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down 2.5%. Still within the pattern, still looking okay. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm not here to make predictions, but we've got a flag pattern. It's at the bottom of the flag pattern. We could even dip like that before heading higher, doing a full retest. It's totally possible. Uranium futures down slightly, down 0.4% here. Still above a lot of support. Just be patient. We've got URA up 0.72%. I wish it closed a lot stronger than that. It's trying to put in a bottom here and turn, but there's still some selling pressure. Uranium, it's the same thing. You can see a downtrend line that we're basically right at trying to break out. There's the little down candlestick. We might do a return move back to it. URNJ, it's the same thing. But we're at a cheap level, and I'd be watching for a potential move higher, and buying into strength would probably be a good idea. Copper up 1.73%. That's breaking out and looking good. So copper looking pretty solid here. We've got COPX up 0.65%. The equities aren't really following, though. We got iron ore up 0.2%. And it still looks good to work its way on up. It's just taking time. Aluminum down slightly, right at that stupid resistance line. We've got nickel up 0.4%. And that's been moving up here. It's looking pretty good on the right-hand side here. Nickel has bottomed and it's moving on up. Mu down 1.35. We're at resistance. Haven't been able to break this resistance area up there. And we're still in the pattern. Still looks okay. Emerging markets up 0.55%. And let me back out here. This is all strong dollar here. Now that the dollar is weakening, I do expect this to work its way on up. KRE up 1.1%, but still has downside momentum. We've got TAN down 1.13. This is a rising wedge. Generally, they break lower. Lithium up 0.4. That's sitting on top of support and a pattern. I would expect that to go higher. REMX down slightly, but on top of support in two directions, here and here. So I would expect that to go on up. You can see a little wick at the bottom too. That looks good to work its way on up. It's a little flag pattern too, or pennant formation. Baltic Dry Index continuing higher, looking good for Baltic Dry Index. XHB Home Builders doesn't like the strengthening yields. Still pulling back. Still looks a little bit weak at this current time. Russell up 0.14, but momentum is still to the downside. No reversal candlestick yet. We've got SPX up 0.5, momentum still to the downside, no reversal candlestick. And the NASDAQ up 1.22, same thing. Still momentum down, no reversal candlestick. SMCI up 4%. There's good support there, and that's where we got the support. Bouncing around. We've got NVIDIA up 6%, 6.5% or so. Still looks like garbage though. Momentum still down. Bitcoin sideways. Momentum is down. We've got Ethereum down 2%. Momentum is definitely lower on this. No reversal candlestick. MicroStrategy is up 0.75%, right at that resistance support line that I drew in a little while ago. And then the VIX is down 10%. Some people are speculating that the VIX is going to run way up and the market go down. A lot of fear in the market with a lot of people that I read. But that's kind of where we're at today, guys. If you like the content, give me a thumb up. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Special is the coupon code for that. And that's all I've got for today. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.